Okay, here we are. This is lesson 3 of time-lapse drawing a Jaguar C-Type, and I'm glad you're back. What I'm doing here is the parts that I put on the car a little bit lightly yesterday. I'm darkening them up, and I'm going to continue on up to the grill. The reason is this is one of the darkest, actually it's probably the darkest part on the car itself. So what I'm doing here is to bring that up to close to its final value. The car is British Racing Green, like I said, which they also call bottle green. It's a pretty dark color, but this shadow is darker than the normal color on the car is itself. So it's giving me an idea of what the darkest color is going to be. And then I can work on the lightest ones and the ranges in between. And if I get a good range of tones on here, then that will make the drawing look better. I'm not worried about the structure of the drawing. The drawing sketch underneath it, even though it's a little loose, looks pretty good. I think that'll work out fine. And I'll refine it more with my ink. But what I'm doing here is to make sure that the darkest part is its own tonal value. Then there's going to be lighter parts on the car, and then there are going to be the very lightest parts. So we'll just work through the range of tone values in it and try to make a drawing that's interesting to people. And also I want to emphasize certain parts of the car, so there'll be a lot more attention given to the front of the car and the right front wheel than there will be to the back of the car and the right rear wheel. And so I want the grille, the headlights, and the left front wheel to show up really, really well. And so we'll do everything we can to draw the person's attention and eyes to that part of the car. And if we do that and we intentionally make it more exciting up there, then you don't have to work so hard on the rest of the drawing. The rest of it's going to kind of be carried along, and people will forgive you if you make a couple boo-boos on it. It's no big deal. But what you're trying to do is to make the drawing look good, make the people seeing it remember the car or think that it's a good looking car, whatever it is. And that's what I'm trying to do here, is to try to make the parts that I want to stand out. So they're really dramatic, and they kind of jump off the page at you. And that's the best you can do as far as I'm concerned. Is you want to make it so it's fun. It's going to be fun to look at. And this is probably going to be one of the cards that I'm going to do in my greeting card line too. I think it's going to be a really, really great looking card when it gets done. As I said before, I think this is one of the front end is one of the prettiest race cars I've ever seen. And you can easily see where the D Jaguar came from, because other than the grill on here and maybe it being a little bit shorter, not so tall, that the D Jaguar looks very, very much like this. The front end's extended out more to the front, but basically you can certainly see the beginnings of the D Jaguar here. And then of course that evolved into the E Jaguar, the Type E, XKE, for the street, and which was, when it came out, just an unbelievable car because it was so fast. But here I am is trying to even the tone out and try to get rid of most of the white that's in there. And it's not totally black, but it's going to be mostly black. It's going to be 90% anyway. So which will give your eye the sense that it's gray, but it'll actually be a whole bunch of black dots with some white still interspersed through it. But your eye already makes that connection by itself. So that's how we do it. That's how you make it some color and or tonal value. Of course, this is all black and white because I'm using black ink. But that's really the only thing you have to do, is to decide what parts you want to emphasize, which parts are going to be black or dark, and which parts are going to be light. And then those parts that are in between, then you balance those off one against the other, and you make a believable car. It also is able to show the roundness of a car because of the shadows and all of that. And black is very expressive. That's why a lot of photographers who still shoot film shoot black and white, because it's in many cases far more dramatic than color is. It tells a story all by itself just because of the tonal values in it without having to use color itself. But once in a while, I have taken a black and white drawing like this, and I put a little touch of color in with a pigmented either paint like acrylic or a marker in a couple cases, and it really is pretty exciting when you do that. But not on this car. This one's going to be all black. So, still working along, nearly down to the end of the lesson today. But tomorrow we'll start on the other side of the car, and then we'll start working on the underside. So I hope to see you back here tomorrow. Thank you very much for coming by. See you later. Bye.